Everybody, welcome back to another recap of 90 Day Fiancé Love in Paradise. Um, let's just jump right in, shall we? I
Mm,
will say I would like to end with Alex and Adriano.
okay. Mm-hmm.
So let's just get the weird outlier in the room, Ani and Kyle, out the way first. Um, so she's stressed out. Ani is
Mm-hmm.
over this human belch, and so she got her bestie Lululemon,
Mm-hmm.
uh, who's in town visiting from Germany,
Mm-hmm.
um, to do yoga with her, and like Fabletics by whatever her name is was like, "Girl, get yourself together."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like tap into your inner baddie,
Mm-hmm.
and I get it, we are women of a particular age, but get it together, queen.
She seems to try to have an objective viewpoint with her. She was like, "Well, there's a reason why you keep trying to hold on to this little weird ass nigga. So I don't,
Hmm.
maybe there's something to explore." She's like, "And all your other relationships failed, so just saying that, howsomever, um, you if he's never gonna stop donating this sperm, then girl, what are you doing with yourself?
Square pegs and round
What do
holes.
you like about this nigga?
Yeah, yeah,
What do you actually like about him?
right. Because if I'm speaking on her behalf, I couldn't find one thing.
Not one.
The fact that he's breathing, that should be a quality you look for in a partner. But other than that, I don't.
Here's a job.
Yeah, yeah, and he's well traveled, but that's all I can give him.
Mm, yeah.
So to quell her insecurities and issues surrounding his donation stuff, he thinks it would be a good idea for her, not necessarily for him, even though it should be for him,
Mm-hmm.
to get an STI test
Mm-hmm.
to prove that he is not out here laying it low, spreading it wide unsafely. And it's
Mm-hmm.
like, well, clearly you are because you're getting these women pregnant
And you literally are only getting this because she
because
wanted
you
you
think
to.
this will, yeah. And she's stupid enough to think that this is going to solve anything. But anywho,
She wants this to work so bad. I don't know why. I have no fucking reason why she wants this to work so bad, but she is willing to put up with all of this weird ass fucking behavior for the sake of being in partnership with, like you said, a human belch.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And that was them.
Yeah, I don't. I also realize I'm a woman of a particular age because
Y'all
I,
the same age.
yeah, but I won't stop saying STD. So, like,
Oh, well, not everything is a disease. Some things it's an infection
yeah, yeah,
that can
yeah.
be
I get
cured
all
and
of
go
that.
away.
I know, I get it,
Yeah.
and we on YouTube. I get it, but
I know that's why they put STD/STI because not
hmm
everything, there are certain things that are diseases out there, yes. But I'm glad you own that.
moving on.
Yeah. Let's talk about Madeline and Luke. Brat's doll and cold ass. So I went to brunch recently. I went to brunch this past weekend,
hmm
and we were talking about like recent concerts we went to or whatever. And
Yeah.
one of the agents of chaos happened to be there,
hmm
and they were like, "I went to go see Macklemore," and I was like, everybody at the table was
hmm
like cold ass honky. And
hmm
he was like, yeah, he was like, say what you want, but they put on a good show. And I was like, and apparently Macklemore is on the right side of things.
Very
So if
much,
you know what I mean.
very much
So
so.
Also, shout out to Maria from Survivor, who was definitely like free Palestine as soon as she got off the plane. So,
Wait, did she?
yeah, I didn't realize she was a doctor too. But yeah, Dr. Maria Guzman, I believe that's her last name. But yeah, she was like, I saw this. She was like, I'm not into graffiti, but here it is. And she's free Palestine with the watermelon thing
I
on it.
know. Good, very good. Go ahead, Maria. I wish you would have won
Mhm.
now.
Yeah. So, so Madeline is 19, but she's not dumb.
No.
But she's 19.
Mm-hmm. But she's not dumb either.
But she's not dumb.
She not dumb, and she not dumb.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, we're back at the venue
Mm-hmm.
where he brought up the prenup, the wedding venue where he brought up the prenup. And she was like, fuck you. Like,
In that dress,
she
she was
is,
like, "Fuck you" in that dress.
uh-huh. Yeah. She's heartbroken because she's super offended by this prenup. She's like, I know I'm young, but damn, like, excuse me, but damn, like,
No, I'm gonna be
I ride
honest
out
with
for
you.
you.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be honest. I was like, "Oh, honey's putting on a show."
Well, I feel like anytime there's a conversation of a prenup, things turn to this, right? Remember the very first season we watched the show, and the girl who had they already had a baby together,
Mm-hmm.
and then they were about to get married, and he was about to, because he was very rich and she was not.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he was like about a prenup, and she was like, "How dare you? We have a baby together. You don't trust me." And he's like,
That's a little different to me. This in this particular case, I'm like, well, a he has nothing. So let's be very clear. Outside
which
of
is
that
also why
apartment,
I'm confused as to why he
right?
wants a prenup. But hey,
Because you plan on making all this money back after you all get married anyway, and you stated that a prenup is to protect whatever you have pre the
no,
so are you trying to get this prenup to protect this motherfucking eyeglass business, these shades, these collapsible
this
shades, like
Zeal.com shades.
right, you know, that people can buy off of Temu and whatever else the equivalent to that is.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that what you're
Like,
trying to protect? He said, or the apartment, he wants to protect that apartment. Baby, just her name's not on the lease, or if it is, just take it
right.
off.
Yeah, like it's I don't get it.
You don't have no assets.
And he admitted, you're right. He admitted that the only asset he currently has is that
It's the
apartment.
apartment.
Like,
So I'm like, what is all this to do for? Now, I still think Mama is. I do think she is hurt, but I also think she really severely wants her way, and she's going to emote in whatever way she needs to in order to get that.
right, because while they're at the venue, she throws herself into the car. Not even the regular car, the production van.
The fucking sprinter.
Yeah, she just uh yes. And they have to talk to each other on the phone, even though they're like 10 feet
I
away
said
from
this
each
is the
other.
most 19-year-old shit. The fact that this girl went to the car and called him. She
Mm,
walked away from him to go to the car to call.
yeah. What 19.
Yeah.
Yeah, 19.
At war.
Yeah, because I'm like, and then he gets in the car and they're both crying in the car now. Because my note was like, did someone die? I'm lost because I'm trying to understand
His language
how
also
this is
makes me very
so.
uncomfortable because he's like, I want you to be my girl forever. Because she's like, you don't trust me. And he's like, it's not that. And he's like, I want you to be my girl forever. And I'm like, I don't like any of this. The
Mm-mm.
use of this language.
Yeah, I don't. It's giving me Sean vibes.
I
This
already
whole
think it's
idea.
weird that you call people baby because it's like, how did baby become the term of endearment?
Just like saying daddy in certain places.
No,
Like,
that is. He
you know what
raised
I
me.
mean?
My husband raised me.
Let me write that shit down.
He
My
raised me.
husband raised me and
Listen.
other cringy shit. Uh huh.
I'm
Okay.
I'm about to start saying wild shit like Tristan changes my Pampers. Like I'm about to just like just
Mhm.
stupid shit. He warms up my formula because that's how y'all sound. That's
Mhm.
how you sound,
Mhm. Y'all
Miss.
sound ridiculous. Yeah, it's a little weird.
There it is.
So she is giving him the silent treatment, like hard body, like, and he talks to us about her lack of willing to compromise or willingness to compromise
Mm-hmm.
because it's literally her way or the highway. And
Yeah.
of course it is because you've engendered this type or fostered this type of relationship
Mm-hmm.
dynamic and you like it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you think it's cute that she gives um,
Good
you
love.
childlike responses
Mm-hmm.
because you like to infantilize her as well.
Yes, you do,
Um,
baby, my girl.
yeah, so I don't. It's a little strange to me, but
Mm-hmm.
she walks in with her rat dog,
Mm-hmm.
silent.
Yeah.
Um, she tries to explain herself calmly and rationally, or in her version of rational. She doesn't like the fact that this prenup means that he's questioning her intentions. She feels as though that I've been ride or die for you for like a year now, and I could have been fucking a whole slew of niggas, but I chose you.
Yeah, girl.
And
And
to that, his response was, "Let's talk about this later." And I was like, why are we tabling this discussion? He was like,
yeah,
we're not getting anywhere. I'm like, well, you're not going to get anywhere because you're not being effective enough in moving this conversation
he
along.
hasn't been effective the entire time that he's been there.
No. And I can't even like blame the language barrier.
Mm-mm.
Like she is very, very aware
Oh yeah. Oh
of what's
yeah.
going on.
Oh yes.
And you need to stand up
Stand up.
and, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, that was them this week.
You're a burpee today.
I know. I don't know what's going on.
I'm like, what's happening?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. Um, but anywho, where? Oh, we only have two more. That's crazy.
Yeah. Let's go with
These reviews are getting shorter and shorter.
great. Let's go with Burger King, aka King Friday and Aaliyah.
Oh yeah, this was nice. This was nice.
Yeah.
On her part, not his.
Yeah.
Um, so Aaliyah goes home. She goes to meet up with her mama to invite her and the fam to her 25th birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
We learned that her and her mother has not had the greatest relationship, and she recently only Aaliyah's mother came back into her life about like 5 years ago. So apparently, um, had a daddy, all this stuff. Something happened. They became destitute,
Mm-hmm.
and so Mama couldn't raise
She had her young.
you know, yeah, very young,
Mm-hmm.
couldn't raise her like that or her brother, and
Mm-hmm.
so gave him to the grandparents, and she was raised by her grandparents
Mm-hmm.
until like she could find work and all the good stuff, and so after a while, Aaliyah grew up, and so they finally reconnected about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And her mother is rather supportive of her. I will say,
Yeah, very much so.
use the correct pronouns, the very
Proper
it's the
terms
it's
of
the
endearment.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's the relationship that Aaliyah says she's always wanted with her mother,
Yes.
which is important. Although she feels like her mother is overcompensating because of the fact that she wasn't in her life, but she was like, "I'll take what I could get."
Yeah, listen, and it
You
because
know.
it doesn't seem like they also had a negative relationship. It was just more so
Mm-mm.
she was young, she didn't have the means to raise me properly, and now we're rebuilding.
Mm-mm.
For the time lost. So it's Aaliyah's very perceptive, and I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? She sees what's going on around her. She's not dumb to it, whether she's young or not. She's not
Mm-mm.
dumb to it.
Mm-mm.
Um, Now, I really love the fact that her mother was also very supportive of her transition. Um, Now, Sean is planning this birthday party for Aaliyah. Sean King Friday, Burger King. And
Every time I every time I see a Burger King commercial, because for whatever reason I see them often, I see him and I'm like, oh, it's Sean.
frightening. So he's planning his birthday for Aaliyah, and this is also going to be his first time meeting her mother. Um,
Uh-huh.
she's never introduced her mother to any of her partners or anything like that. So she's very excited and all of that. Sean is still trying to make this relationship work and still spoil Aaliyah and still take care of her. So he gets her this video made from the Brazilian Beyonce.
Oh,
Anita's.
Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know who she is.
Oh,
Yeah, she has a song with Sam Smith.
ho ho ho! Really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Her
Hmm.
music is not bad.
Okay.
She's a pop girly, you
Okay.
know. They play
Mm-hmm.
her music here in America, so that's literally how I
Is
know
it
her.
lip sync music?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say they've used one of her songs on the
I
race.
wouldn't be
So,
surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
yeah. Yeah,
Um.
she cool. She
Mm-hmm.
cool at. But yeah, Douglas Sean got was met up with Anita somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and was like, "Oh, I met, my boo thing is in love with you. Can you help me with this proposal?" Blah 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought Sean was trying to be shady with this photo collage or montage because it's all these pictures of like Sean and Douglas. But then I realized that you haven't hung around Aaliyah long,
Yeah.
so
So they don't have that many
they don't
photos.
have right. So I was about to say I'll give you a pass on this one.
Mm-hmm.
However, we've already established that Douglas is dead, so I don't know why you keep trying to rehash shit. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But
Mm-hmm.
whatever. So the doll shows up looking glamorous, bust down.
Oh yeah. Oh
It,
yes.
it was a good time. Her family showed up, her stepbrother, her mama, and her stepfather, which I
Mm-hmm.
was a little concerned because when he didn't show up in the beginning, I was like, oh, he must be phobic. But then
Mm.
I was like, he probably at work like the rest of us and be like, no, nigga, I'm not trying to be on camera.
I'm busy.
Yeah, I'm busy. But he too was very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
The brother was like, wagwan or whatever they say in, Portuguese.
Yeah.
Everybody was having a good time.
Yep.
Now it's time for the video.
Mm.
They pull it up on the Windows Movie Maker USB situation. Windows Media Player, excuse me. I forgot that still existed,
It
but
does,
I'm
and
sure
I
it
hate
does.
when anybody sends anything that you have to view through that shit. I'm like,
Yeah.
grow up.
Just make it an MP4, like make it universal,
I'm talking
girl.
to myself because I don't really know how to do stuff.
It's fine. So Anita had like in the video, Anita low key had proposed to Aaliyah and not necessarily Sean.
Uh
Uh,
huh.
but of course, Aaliyah was like, "Oh my god, my Beyonce!" Like it was, she had, you know, dear Stan. Like it was very much like that moment. Like she was reborn. She was anew.
I couldn't even really like get into it though because it took me a second. I was like, did this nigga just propose?
Hmm.
Why would you do that?
Don't propose to me on my birthday.
Not even don't propose to me
Oh,
on my
sorry.
birthday. And don't
Yeah.
propose to me at nobody else's wedding. But
Yeah, or any other function. Don't
right.
propose to me on a holiday or anybody
No.
else's
Where this
function.
shit is always tied to that. But
Yeah.
also, you're not even sure you want to be with me. Like, you're not even sure about what you want in this capacity. Why the fuck would you take things an extra step and propose?
Yeah. I was like, oh, someone's convincing Hope, I see.
Mm, mm,
Someone
mm,
is trying to convince themselves
mm,
that this is who they want. And again, nothing about Aaliyah has changed except
mm-mm,
her outward appearance.
mm-hmm.
Appearance. Everything else is well, I don't want to say everything else is the same, but she's still like the same human being.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? She
Mm-hmm.
just lives her life out loud and is no longer like docile or timid about it. Yeah,
We'll see what happens because he even says afterwards, "Well, we do have some things to talk about. You should have talked about that before you propose."
absolutely, absolutely.
We
But I
hustling
think it has.
backwards
I think
here.
it has to do with like Aaliyah moving to America because in the next episode they get into a big conversation about moving to America. She's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh, girl, I don't know." And I was like, "I hear you, Queen."
Oh, and she says, "I don't want to be financially dependent upon him
Dependent.
because I don't trust all of that." And I was like, "See, I knew you were not just here for the money. I knew it."
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
I like Aaliyah.
No.
I root for her.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope she don't marry him. But I hope she finds the love she deserves.
I agree.
If it's with Sean or not,
I
you
agree.
know. But yeah, that was them.
Mm-hmm.
And last but not least, um, Alex Thou Art Loosed and Fabio. Oh my god. Her lady, her lover, and Lord.
Alex Neal.
Yeah. Oh boy. She is a piece of work. And I thought Adriana was going to be the problem.
It's not. And I realized, let's just go ahead.
All right. So this show has the ability to make me want to travel more.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not the traveling type.
Mm.
But when I saw the freshly colored peppers and foodstuffs at the open air market in Italy, I was like, I have to go.
Oh, America's ghetto. I wanna leave.
I was like, I was so enamored by just how pretty and stuff it was, right? Just the
Mm-hmm.
colors of the food, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're at the market because they're trying to buy things because she's about to meet his mother for the first time
Yep.
and her partner. Now, I thought she was gay and I got thoroughly excited. I was like, whose mama's gay? That makes sense.
I didn't think so.
But, I don't like when white people co opt the term partner, but we learn in a minute why. Um,
Yes.
so this is their first time meeting. And of course, she wants to make a very, very good impression
Mm-hmm.
by making his favorite meal or a traditional style, pasta and all
Mm-hmm.
that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so she comes over there and, they greet her warmly.
Mm-hmm.
They're not like, look at this black girl,
Mm-mm.
like a lot of other Italians can be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do meet her partner. She's not gay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, his mama has been with Aldo, his
Mm-hmm.
name, for 30 years, and
Mm-hmm.
they started dating right after Adriano's father passed away.
Mm-hmm.
So they've just been, Oprah and Stedmaning it
Mm-hmm.
for the last 30 years. And,
Not mad.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to, marriage isn't for everybody. Sometimes if it works for you, it works for you,
Mm-hmm. And
you
in those cases, partner is appropriate because
Yeah.
nigga, I'm not about to be 65 calling you my boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah. So Fabio and Aldo go out to do manly things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and his mama, and Alex Thou Art Loose are about to get busy in the kitchen. And they're using the translation app and things are working well. His mother actually likes her at this point, likes her, and is thinking, like, okay, Queen, this could work. I
Mm-hmm.
see, you're good for my son and all this good
You know how
stuff.
to cook? Okay, girl.
Right. They sit down, food is delish, yada yada yada. And guess who ruins dinner?
Alex, thou art loose.
Yeah. Because she can't let this, and it's not even the threesome thing anymore.
Mm-mm.
It is the religion thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Because she says something very problematic twice in this two or three times in this episode. And I was like, oh, you firmly believe that. She brings up religion. to his mama, because she's like, well, her and Aldo are Catholic, so I'm trying to understand why he's not a believer, and yada yada yada.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and his mother was like, so check it. You know, he may not believe in the religion, but that doesn't change his feelings for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Belief system has nothing to do with love.
right. However, Alex says she believes that Christianity provides the roadmap of how to love.
If that's the case, then why the fuck is the world on fire in the name of
Exactly.
Christianity?
Exactly. And so his mama Aldo and him are just looking at her like, huh,
Mind
what?
you, they're Catholic, so it's not like they don't have any belief system. It's just him who doesn't identify, and says I'm just a non-believer, which is okay. He's like, but that doesn't have anything to do with my choice to love you and to wake up and choose you. And like, I don't understand how these two things are being conflated. And even there, like, it seems like you're more concerned with converting him than you are with actually meeting him where he is. And he's like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to meet you where you at. I'm not trying to change anything about you. You're the one who's trying to change shit about me.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Now she
gets
crying at the
she
table.
right, it crying in the club, looking crazy in front of all these people who don't speak English except for him. And they're like,
She's like, they're all ganging up on me. I'm
they're
like,
like,
well,
I hope he
no.
finds somebody who actually can just love him for his whole self and can accept who he is as a person. Um, and yeah, I was like, you wanted them to be on your side. You do want this man to do the things you want him to do. Now, as far as the threesome stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
When they left, they're in the car having conversations about,
They zooming in that Fiat, okay?
okay. Zoom, zoom, zoom. She doesn't feel good after the visit to his mother's house. And she tells him that she, she really, or was this the preview for next week?
No, it's this week.
Okay. She tells him, like, it's very important to me. And he's like, I don't understand why this is so important to you. And she says something about threesomes again, right?
Because she's testifying to him in the goddamn car about like how she found God and God saved her from a life of sin and Sodom and Gomorrah.
And she, and that she makes some references to having said things in the past to men in order to appeal to them. And it made a little more sense as to why this nigga is so fucking gung-ho about these threesomes.
Yeah, because you promised him these things.
Y'all talked about this in a capacity and now you doing a switch up. So I'm not saying it isn't a
Mhm.
little ridiculous to be obsessed with threesomes, but also, if you discussed a relationship in a certain capacity in this way and now you're doing a full switch up on somebody, that's not fair to them either.
Mm-hmm. He told us that in a couple of episodes that
Mm-hmm.
she has switched up. But it's also she says something else problematic, and she was like, any man who believes in God knows how to love
Yeah,
properly.
I don't.
And I was like, that is so
Oh, them
untrue.
church niggas be the worst ones. Them church niggas be the worst type of
Yeah.
nigga. Like, what?
Yeah, that's so untrue and so wrong, you
It was like
know.
she said, a church drummer is a man who understands the rhythm of God's heart. Nope, girl, church drummers are demon in human form.
Hmm. Demon spawn.
They are. Most of them church
Like,
niggas are.
yeah, and he's kind of like at this point I'm being firm, like I'm not budging on religion,
Mm-mm.
and I like having threesomes. Like I'm not hurting anybody. It's about pleasure, it's all about willing participants. I'm not
Yes.
forcing anybody into doing anything they don't want to do. He just likes to have groupie love. And in my head, there's nothing wrong with it because of the fact
No.
that it's consensual and he has told you several times up front this is what the
It's the
doll is
extent to
into.
how much emphasis has been put on it to the point where it's caused them to break up twice. But now
I wonder if it's not him so much and it's her trying to change his
right,
mind about it.
right,
Because I don't think he's like bringing it up every like, hey, let's have a threesome every time they talk on fucking WhatsApp. You know
yeah,
what I mean?
yeah,
I feel like it's her nagging and harping and waiting for that one day
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that he changes his mind.
Yeah, we got a little bit more perspective with this particular occurrence and meeting his family and whatnot. And you can see he comes from a solid, like, loving, reasonable, like, rational
Mm-hmm.
family where they just think about things from a clear perspective. Girl, what does your
Mm-hmm.
love have to do with your religion?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. And this is where you all need to go with this. If that's the case, if you want to be so gung ho, all this evenly yoked business, you not evenly yoked right now, mama. You need to go find somebody who's going to give into this shit that you want to do. But it's not this one here. You've been trying to fit a fucking diamond into an octagon in this particular
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and I don't know how many more signs you need that it's not working.
It's not at all. Um, but yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was 90 Day Love in the Caribbean this week. We will see
Mm.
you all actually in a couple of weeks because we're going on a small break ski. But we'll
Mm-hmm.
see you when we get back.
Yeah, we'll get back to the shit, as Millie Jackson once told us.
Mm-hmm.
But until next time, y'all. Bye.